regret? It's kind of deep, I know.
Overall regret, and then a regret that you're going to relate to with the TV show. So my overall regret is to not ever paying attention to my money. You know, my mom and dad worked very hard. My mom had her own business, like a pioneer after World War II, when women didn't just go out and open their own businesses, and she did at 18 years old. And I just said, Dad, I need some money. What for? Oh, well, I'm going to the movies tonight and to dinner with my friends. Okay, well, how much do you need? Well, back then that was $30 would have been plenty. You know, and then, Dad, I need money. What for? Well, I need gas. Okay, here, fill it up. You know, things like that. I started working at 14 for free. At 16, I probably got paid $2 an hour or something, but I never really handled my money. And I think my mom and dad always thought there would be a man, there would be a husband to take care of all that. Well, I did the creative thing. It just like my mom and dad, you know, he handled the books and the money and paid the bills, and my mom worked and handled the recital and the costume orders and all that. And that's a huge regret in my life overall. The biggest recent regret would have been, or more recent, would have been ever letting anybody from a TV show, from a production company, walk into my studio without every single agreement in place. Light bill, the gas bill, who's paying for that? What about any damage to the floor, damage to the roof? And not one child could have interviewed for the TV show if their bill in my studio was not paid in full. That is a huge regret. And signing anything. So my advice to all you teenagers out there is get a really good attorney, get a better accountant, and then question everything they ever do.
What is something that made you a better dance teacher and why?
Well, originally I wanted to be a choreographer. That was it. I wanted to create dance, create movement. Then I realized that in order to get my students to do what I envisioned in my head, I needed to make better dancers. So I always traveled with my mom every summer to all the dance conventions. And I studied, there weren't as many convention opportunities then as there are now. Now you could just throw a rock in Orlando somewhere and there's going to be a dance convention, or in Las Vegas. Back then it wasn't as common. And I would go with her and I would study with some of the greats, Frank Hatchett and Gus Giordano. And these men were like pioneers of jazz dance. So I learned a lot of technique, a lot of technical things. I also learned by watching competitions. And now you guys can live stream that for free. I had to fly there and buy a ticket and sit in the audience. You can see all that. And you learn, why are they doing that? Like, I just can't stand the flat-footed turning and the sickled foot on purpose and all of that. You know, to me, I'm thinking, okay, the kid can't turn in releve and she doesn't have good feet and she can't wing her feet. So we're going to do this instead, which choreographically is smart, but should it be winning? I don't know.
What do you enjoy doing in your spare time?
I am a big movie buff. I love to see a new movie every Friday night before the critics get a hold of it and say what it's about. And here in LA, you know, all the movie premieres are here. That's my favorite thing to do. And I love to swim. That's my big sport, if you'd call it, swimming. And when I'm in the swimming pool, I feel normal. I feel like people don't even know I'm in a wheelchair. Like they see the wheelchair by the lift to the pool, but they would never know it was mine. I can sit on the steps and read a book in the pool. So those are probably my two things. And the third thing, of course, is laying in the sun. What about you? What do you do in your spare time?
Swimming and dance.
Swimming, dance. Okay. I read a lot too. I read a lot of books. Like there's a book right here. Let me just grab this that I'm reading. And it fell in the pool. And that's why it looks like this, because I had to dry it out.
What is in your New Year's resolution?
Well, everybody wants to lose weight. I mean, that's like the most common, I think, you know, and mine is always walking. And every time I'm doing really well, I just walked on 11 flights. I walked. In the last 3 weeks, I've flown 11 times and I've taken my chair down to the edge of the bridge where the plane is. And I literally put the walker into the plane, stand up, walk a few steps, and then I sidestep together down the aisle to my seat. And I've done that, and I've accomplished that, and I felt great about that. And then I had a little setback because last year I broke my tib fib, and I had to have some more work done on it. So anyway, that's my goal, to walk and be skinny.
I'm Kara. I'm Marissa.
Okay.
Our question is, who is your celebrity crush?
Well, growing up, I mean, you're going to be like, ugh, now, but when I was your age, probably John Travolta.
1000%. No, classic.
Not only because it was just John Travolta, it was because of his contribution to dance, I think. You know, when he did Grease, I saw it 7 times the weekend it opened in the movie theater, 7 times, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So then he did Saturday Night Fever, and it was the disco craze. And my mother had disco classes every night for adults. After dance class was over, there was disco classes. And then he did Urban Cowboy. And then there was country line dancing and lessons my mother was giving, and everyone was taking country line dancing. And then he did Staying Alive and tried to be like the real jazz technical dancer. And then he was awarded this huge award from Dance Masters of America for contributing so much to the art of dance. And he came to the banquet in LA. I was there. I was 17 years old. He came and he sat through all these speeches and all these little old ladies getting these 50-year awards, 60-year award, all these awards. And he was so kind and so gracious. And he got his award. Mary Lou Henner was his date. And he was just a super nice guy. And then since moving here to LA, I went to an event that he did, like one of these, not a TED Talk, but like a kind of talk thing that he did. And I met him, and I wheeled out to his car. And before it ended, I like tried to get out to corner him. And I did. And I got a picture like through a window, but it's not a great picture, but yes. That's my celebrity crush.
Amazing. Love it. Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Who's your celebrity crushes?
Wow, that's a hard question.
Right. I've got mine ready.
You go then.
Zac Efron, always and forever.
Of course.
He's short though, isn't he?
Who cares? I'm short. I'm 5'2". It's okay.
Okay, all good. No, that's okay. That's okay.
Right. He still look tall next to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, random. Eddie Redmayne, I like a lot for same reasons as you. I feel like I respect him creatively as an artist, and that makes me attracted to him.
Yes. All right, girls. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Do you believe, in your opinion, that cereal is a soup?
For me, I think it depends on how much milk you put in it. So I like milk, but I'm not a big milk and cereal. So I put a lot of cereal, a little bit of milk, and it's just crunchy. So no, it's not soup. Now at the end, when you have like 4 Fruit Loops left and a whole big bowl of milk, it's definitely soup.
Thank you, Miss Abby. That was really informative.
Thank you.
If you had to pick one mom from Dance Moms to be your mom, who would it be and why?
I could say Gianna's mom, but you really don't know her. I would say Jill, because it would make Jill feel really old. And she raised 3 beautiful daughters. And they're all like going to marry professional athletes. So true. I think that there you go.
There. Thank you so much.
Love you.
It? Okay.
Hi, Miss Abby.
Hello, sweetheart.
My question for you is,
all right, the next person that says is doing push-ups, and we're all going to count for them.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Why did Sophia leave, then come back, and then leave forever, like after that one episode of like Dance Moms on season 3?
Sophia Lucia you're talking about?
Sophia that came in and replaced all the girls. She
left because she had a commitment, like she had to do something, I believe. And then, or the mom had to do something or something. Then she came back and she had an agent at the time, or a manager, She was with an agency and they told her not to do it, that reality TV is going to destroy her and yada, yada, yada. And she's too good of a dancer. And in the meantime, I'm talking to the mom off camera saying, oh, what instrument does she play? And the mom's like, she doesn't play an instrument. And I'm like, and then, well, who's her vocal coach? She was this incredible little dancer, right? And then she's going to be a tapper. We teach her a minute and 40 seconds of a dance. She'd go home and the next night she'd come back the next day. And she took that minute and 40 seconds, everything. Like, how is she a tapper if she can't hear the music? So she was a tapper, set the world records. She was great. I loved working with her. She was fun, anything. She was a really good student. And then all of a sudden, she was on the show. I think if she would have stayed 2 more weeks.
When it comes to dancers.
When they stand in parallel seconds with their legs bowed or pigeon-toed like a man would stand, a guy. I just can't believe how feminine they can be when they dance. And then they look like a truck driver when they aren't dancing. And they post it all over social media. That's a huge pet peeve. It breaks my heart. And also these dancers that are classically trained, that are amazing, brilliant dancers that so many kids just look up to. And then they're not really dancing anymore. They just do TikTok.
My question to you is, if you could relive one moment in your lifetime, what would it be?
Probably the day I signed that Dance Moms contract. I would have never done that.
Yeah.
Never done that under those circumstances, without proper representation, without all that jazz. No.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
They're really big. They're big wishes. I wish that I could walk healthy without any issue. I wish that I could go back in time. And I wish that I could be skinny and sexy just for like a week.
Thank you, Miss Abby. I
That's
wanted
it.
to say you are very skinny and sexy.
Oh, well, thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much.
Love you.
LA is a very young town. It's a very young people's world here, you know? So,
Well, you are beautiful.
well, thank you. I appreciate that, sweetheart. I do. So are you. All these kids on here with these great faces.
My question is, who was the craziest mom on Dance Moms?
Oh God, there's like a 5-way tie for that. I would say Kelly went into it as a purpose in life, something to do with her and her kids. And she just really wasn't mentally or emotionally prepared, nor were her children. Even though they had all the time to prepare in the world, she danced herself. Like, she got it. She knew what it was about. She should have been the most prepared, and she was the least. Jill didn't even really know anything about it. I'm the one that grabbed Jill and stuck her in the interview chair and said, here, interview this woman, because I think she's attractive. And she was more my age, and she was raised a little bit more the way I was raised. I thought she brought a little more class to the cast, just in her mannerisms and the way she spoke. Holly was never going to interview. No. Nia had to beg her to do it. I think the word crazy, I would have to go with Melissa, because she was just such a pathological liar that she lied so much that she believed herself when she was lying. And you have to be really smart to be a liar, because you have to remember who you told what to. And she couldn't really do that. There you go, Cheyenne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was wondering, where did the select team go after season 4? Like, did you stay in contact with any of the girls from that?
Tia is in Florida. She goes to New World School of the Arts, which is a very prestigious art school that has dance and drama and everything, all genres of dance. Her mom definitely keeps in touch with me, and so does she. Kaylee Ware. Am I right, Michael?
Kaylee Ware was actually on the first replacements in season 3. And so she was with her, and I think it was the same time that Sophia Lucia.
Kaylee Ware's mom's one of my best friends, Glow. She's a dance teacher.
Absolutely.
And Kaylee is now with Pacific Northwest Ballet. She's a professional ballerina. I'm the adult. I got cancer. I was in the hospital. I'm in a wheelchair. These are young kids that are healthy and they have phones. They can reach out and say hi. You know, you kids find me. They can find me. So I just think that sometimes they got a great opportunity and they should be appreciative of it. And I'm sure most of those kids are. I just don't really hear from any of them.
Yeah. Hi, I'm her mom. I just wanted to say for a second, thank you for sharing your journey with your health and everything. We have a lot of challenges in our house. I have some very, very serious health issues, and our son has autism, and we have a very like can-do kind of house here with everything. And Maddie and I watch Dance Moms all the time while I'm doing fluids in my port and stuff. It's like a thing we do at bedtime. And I just want to say thank you for sharing your journey, because it's important to us.
I appreciate that. Sometimes I think I get too much into the health stuff and the kids really don't care about that. But I know that there's moms and women. I've been speaking to a lot of women's conferences, and you know, it's important. It's important.
Yeah. And she gets it. So yeah, it's a thing that we've been doing together for years at bedtime. So thank you.
Take care, sweetheart. Take care of you.
What is your most embarrassing childhood memory?
I don't know if I was in 4th grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and I wore a dress to school. I don't know why it was dress up there or something. I don't know. And I wore pantyhose, right? Like tights, pantyhose. And I didn't put underwear on because I'm so used to wearing tights at dance class, and you wear tights in a leotard. You don't wear underwear under your tights. So I put tights on with a dress and no underwear. So I had to go to the office and call my house and have somebody bring me up underwear to put on. That's my most embarrassing moment.
Before my mom passed, she told me to be on Zoom with you instead of be there with her. And my question is, what can I do around the house about training to be a pop star?
I think your mom wanted you to be happy and be motivated and be doing something positive is the reason she said that. And she knows that what you were doing with me is good for you. That's that. I think videotaping yourself to see what you look like, and also just audio recording yourself to hear yourself back to be a pop star. I mean, you have to hear yourself. You have to see yourself. You know, like they do The Voice because they want that show was created so they would hear you before they looked at your image and your weight and your height and your eye color. Like they didn't want that. They just wanted to hear the voice. So I think the more you can record yourself, like, do you have a microphone at home?
Yeah, I got a microphone headset from my dad for Christmas and a pop star microphone for Christmas.
Perfect. The more you can use that and just to hit record, even if you get an old fashioned tape recorder and put the tapes in and date the tapes, like write the date it was, and to hear yourself improving, that's what it's going to take.
Okay.
All right. I love you, sweetheart. You hang in there, okay?
Okay.
So on your Instagram, there was something about a season 9 audition. Is that happening?
I've been searching for kids for season 9 for a year now, at least. And we have a lot of kids, to be honest. We have a group of like tween teens, and we have a group of petite mini into tween age. Some of the tweens could go either way. We have it. We don't have the moms. I can find kids all day long, but I cannot find moms, because in the world now, they know the show. They know how it goes. And they also know who I am. And I'm in a wheelchair now. I had cancer. cancer survivor. So people don't want to be combative with me. They don't want to scream in my face and yell at me like they did when I was standing and able-bodied, you know? So it's a little different dynamic. So we're having trouble finding, plus when I go around on tour and I'm looking at kids, I am teaching. I'm busy, focus on the class. So I have to like go back and look at all the footage of the kids and the moms to see what do we really have here. Then we also, sometimes we get some moms, we have a list of moms that are off the charts that are great and their kids aren't right. Their kids are too little, too young to learn a new routine every week. They're like 6, 7. So yeah. So there should be a season 9 as soon as we cast. It will not be on the same network, obviously. It might be a YouTube thing because that seems to be the way I can control things more and keep it under control and not have some big executive producer come in and overrule me because money talks. Teddy, what do you do?
I do tap and then I do drama at my school.
Okay, good for you. You keep it up, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
What was your most proudest moment?
I think it would be seeing one of my students, his name is Mark Myers, on a Broadway stage for the very first time. The choreographer was a friend, AC Ciola, and he snuck me in to the theater. And Mark didn't even know I was in New York City from Pittsburgh. He snuck me in the dark theater, and I sat on the aisle, like on the end seat, and the dancers were rehearsing their very first time stepping on a Broadway stage ever. Well, I shouldn't say that. My student, he had stepped on a Broadway stage with me going to visit other people or see shows, and we just walk across the stage, but before we leave at the end. But this was his first time rehearsing, and he didn't know I was there. And he kind of felt that I was there. He kept telling me later on when he knew I was there, he's like, oh my God, it was so weird. It was like, I felt like you were there, and you were. And I said, yes. So that was my most proudest moment, because he was a little dorky 3-year-old boy that started at my studio with absolutely no hopes or dreams that could even come close to what he's done in his life. Not even close. And I remember he was a teenager and he was assisting me, and it was Friday and it was 4:30 and he wasn't there yet. And my dad was working at the desk, and my dad called his mother, called his house and said, where's Mark? He's starting like now. And his mother said, I hope everyone's listening. His mother said, he's at his real job. His real job was working at a grocery store, putting groceries in bags, like bagging groceries for people. Yeah, he's the dance supervisor for Wicked all over the world. Every single cast of Wicked, he supervises the audition process and when they get on stage, like the whole thing, everything. He knows every head, arm, count, prop, this, that, everything. He's also the associate choreographer of Dear Evan Hansen, SpongeBob the Musical, the new Mare Fair Lady revival, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And yeah, he'd still be bagging groceries. So that is my proudest moment. All right, guys, take care. Mwah, mwah. I love you. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.